I wanted to go over keeping your little RC truck clean, whatever vehicle you got. You want to keep it clean. They do have a tendency to get dirty. I don't know what it is. Just it seems like they're magnets for dirt. So yeah, a lot of the stuff in here, when dirt gets on it, it starts causing damage. When I say dirt, I mean mud, nastiness. When it gets in there, all that silica can start scratching and cutting it away, and even your chromed parts that don't rust, they'll start rusting out. This is how it gets dirty. Oh, not pretty. Yeah, you want to go ahead and keep your body clean, protects your paint job, protects the outside of the body, less stuff to scratch it. But the main thing is getting your vehicle itself clean. Now you want to watch your electronics. That's your servo and your receiver and your motor and speed controller. You don't want, I know they're waterproof, but you don't want to just directly spray them with water. You just want to work on your extremities. You want to work on those control arms, bearings, and shocks. Those are the main things. It's okay to get a little water on the electronics, but don't spray them directly. You're not just trying to hose those things off. You see, I'm just working on all the suspension parts mainly, and then cleaning out the chassis. Now you notice I took the tires off, and I did not put the wheel nuts back on the spindles. I left them separate. That way I didn't knock any off in the sink when I'm trying to clean it. But you definitely want to clean your tires separate. I'll show you that in a minute. But right now we're blowing all the excess water off the vehicle. We don't want water sitting on it. Yes, the electronics are waterproof, but no, the bearings and stuff are not. They may be sealed for the time being, but as soon as they get dirt to cut that little seal, uh, and moisture starts getting in there, they will immediately rust. They're metal bearings. They're just steel bearings in a steel race, and a little bit of rust goes a long way. So as soon as they start rusting, they're shot. If you don't have an air compressor, use some compressed air. There's a little canned air you can buy for cleaning out your computer, keyboard, and stuff. And there again, it's expensive. Focus on just the bearings, getting your bearings and spindles and everything cleaned out. There's a bearing on the outside and a bearing inboard. You want to make sure that you get both of those dried out. That water just sits in there. And if you get it dried out, you won't have issues of rust. And if you have issues of rust, it'll eat those bearings up so fast it ain't even funny. I've already done it. But you want to look at all your electronics and make sure there's no standing water, especially on the top of the receiver. Right there, you see those prongs? You can get a little drop of water sitting in there. What you don't want to do is hook up the battery when you've got a drop of water sitting in there. If you turn that thing on, you've instantly got, 7.4 volts? Boom. So you want to keep it all dry. You take that blower and blow everything out. Don't blow water directly into your electronics. You want to blow off of, like across the surface of, but don't blow straight down into the receiver or straight down into the top of the motor to speed control. Here's the tires. Okay, on the inside of the rim, I don't know if you can see it, there's a tiny little hole, and there's actually more than one. Those are breather holes. It's how the tire respirates under compression and expansion as it's going across the track and landing and stuff like that. You don't want water getting in those holes. So keep it upright when you're rinsing them off. And I just rinse them off because I want to. Um, I guess there's nothing wrong with having dirty wheels, but I like them to be clean. And keeping it upright like that keeps the water from getting directly in the holes. Now the inside of the rim, you notice it didn't have a lot of mud right now. It did a minute ago. This is how I washed it out. You hold it still with the flat side up and the holes down, and I just sprayed the sprayer up in the back of it and got the excess mud out. And that way it doesn't look so bad. That's the only way I could show you the holes in the back. Some people plug those holes up when they're washing them. You're welcome to. I wouldn't plug them up when I'm driving it. But there they are. Proline hole shots, nice and clean, ready to go back on. You can't even tell. One set is 2 weeks older than the other set, and they both look brand new. But there she is, all cleaned up. We want to make sure all our spindle bearings are clean, all our electronics are clean and dry. Make sure there's no standing water in any of the open areas, and make sure there's none in any of the connectors either. I usually do this before I go to bed at night. That way it can sit all night and be nice and dry. But I appreciate you guys watching. Have a good time.